Hello and welcome to Totally Awesome Barbecue, another back to basics video. We're going to talk about temperature gauges or temperature probes. Basically, when it comes to doing low and slow and you're doing big chunks of meat, you're going to want to know the temperature of it without having to open up the lid, because otherwise you're going to lose all that heat and you're basically starting from scratch again. You want to keep that lid on as long as you can to the end of the cook. And what you can use is a temperature probe. You can buy I bought this years ago, Thermometer, and it's a wired one, as you can see on there. Again, I'm not affiliated by any of these makes, but I'm just showing you what I've used in the past and how I've upgraded to using wireless ones. So yeah, these ones here, it's basically you get these are your probes. One's for ambient temperature and the other one is for your meat. For the ambient temperature ones, you tend to put through there like that, and then that will go in between your grates. So that's taking the temperature of the whole of the barbecue near the meat, and then as you would, the other one would go into the meat. And they're quite long as well, so if you only got a small little bit of meat, it's not that great. I mean, it does the job. I mean, what you do is you attach these to here. You got these little bits that plug in the side. You turn this on, and you put both of these in there. It's got two holes, 1 and 2. And then on here you can set up a program, how long, like what the target temperature is for your meat and the target temperature for the ambient temperature on there. I'll show you on there like that. And yeah, it's pretty standard and easy to use. And you've got different modes of like what meat you're going to use. Like you've got a meat one there, a meat button. You can choose, when I get the thing to work properly, you got ground beef, and it asks you if you want it medium, ground poultry, beef, veal, chicken, pork, and they all got preset times on them for medium at. And when you want to change it to medium to another one, no, that was wrong. It shows how long I've used this. Right, let's go back to chicken. Yeah, so basically you got different meats and stuff on there: chicken, poultry, beef, veal, and chicken, pork, lamb, fish, ham, and they all have preset temperatures on there. And you can up the temperature, like if you know there's a certain, like say for pork 40 you want 96 degrees of in Celsius, you can set it to that and it will go off like that. And basically this one you take indoors with you, this one stays outside. But when you've got, let's say you're doing a rotisserie, you can't really use these because the wires, they get all mixed in with it, and it turns round like that. You can't really use these. So the first one I ever bought was a Meter Plus. You got there, and it has an app. You go on and you can choose what meat you're using. It'll give you, like meat. It'll give you an option of like medium, well done, etc., and all that sort of thing. Or well done for pulled pork would be pullable basically. But I found with a Meter Plus, it wasn't all that great. I've not tried the bigger ones where you get like 4 different temperature probes in it, and it's got its own Wi-Fi to connect to. I found this very hard to like connect to my phone. It became more of a problem when I was having problems with my cooks, and a lot of the time if I was doing pulled pork or whatever, it wasn't coming out right because it kept losing signal. When it did eventually connect to my phone, I could then, using the same Wi-Fi, have another phone next to it, and then I could use my tablet connected to it as well on the app, have it near it, and then I could go shopping, and I could still see what my meat was at. But yeah, after a while, I did email them, and they gave me a replacement, but I was still having the same problems. So I was basically looking around Amazon for different temperature probes, and I came up, well, this came up, is the Inkbird. And I tell you what, out of the two, from the Meter Plus and this is brilliant, because it's pretty simple. All you're doing is it gives you an option of the temperature. It gives you a preset one, but you can do a custom. So if you're doing pulled pork, you can put it up to 96 degrees. The only thing I didn't like about this one would do the ambient temperature and the meat, whereas this one only does the temperature of the meat. It doesn't do the ambient temperature. So a lot of the time I'm using this one, but that's no problem to me really, and it's pretty easy to use. I leave this outside. It connects to your phone on an app just like the Meter Plus, but it connects almost instantly. I don't have problems with it. And when it says it's ready, I like to then use one of these, and it's another temperature probe that basically you open up and it gives you the temperature digitally on there as well. So then, because you got the meter probe, it's in one bit, you can then go around and test all the other parts of the meat to make sure it's all round cooked and ready. But yeah, these ones you can change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit, just like with these as well. You can change these to Celsius and Fahrenheit, and yeah, it does pretty well really. And this one even gives you like temperatures of what meats needs to be at, and yeah, it works pretty well. It even comes with a bottle opener. Can't say Fahrenheit, can you? But yeah, that I use this a lot, especially when I'm doing chicken and all that sort of thing. I want to find out I've got the right temperature, because these days, I mean, years ago, it was all done by timing, and I think that since these things have come out, and these things, like when it comes to temperature, you know when it's at the temperature, it's ready, especially for chicken. Like years ago, it'd be, oh, you got to see if it's pink inside, or if it's the juices are running clear, that sort of thing. But juices could be running clear and it still be pink inside, I found. And also when you're smoking food, it gives you a bit of pink anyway, because the smoke's penetrated it, and you get the smoke ring, which a lot of people will get confused at and think, oh, it's not done, and then carry it on, and then it's dried up to buggery. So yeah, it's always good to have one of these and one of those as a backup to check the rest of the meat. So yeah, I will be doing another video soon and actually cooking something. I'm going to be using the rotisserie, so I'll be showing you how to use the rotisserie as well. I've done another video on the rotisserie, but I didn't go in full depth of it. I did a chicken on it. But I'm going to get a pork loin, and I'm going to hopefully get that nice and moist, because a pork loin doesn't really have a lot of integral fat, so it's not like a pork shoulder where it's got lots of fat to make sure it's pullable. So it's more going to be a roasting type of thing. So yeah, and hopefully I can actually get some pork crackling, because I still haven't perfected pork crackling. Because when I'm doing low and slow, I don't know how other people do it. I've seen other people get crackling when they're doing low and slow, and it doesn't work for me. I do the whole thing of making loads of holes in it, because I've got one of those jackery things with loads of little holes in it, little blades that make the holes, and yeah, still can't seem to get it because I think the temperature is just not high enough. We need like 220 degrees, and even my oven doesn't go up to 220 degrees, it goes up to 200. So what I'm thinking is, on the Weber, I can get that heat right up for roasting, and hopefully that will get the crackling going. So yeah, if you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell when I next upload a video, and yeah, because you're going to want to see the next one, because it's pork loin. You can't beat pork loin. Lovely. Right, so yeah, I'll see you in the next one.